Welcome to Plus Size Stories, episode 5. Today, we speak with Danny, a 49-year-old man from the Bronx in New York City. And like many of us, he's had a lifetime struggle with weight. And you are not going to believe his story. He's lost a tremendous amount of weight and just keeps pushing. Really very inspirational. I don't talk a lot about this in every episode, but one of the things I wanted to let everybody know about is this podcast is here to allow people to tell their own stories in their own words without any editing or exploitation, like you see on so many of the weight loss TV shows and competition programs, which drives me insane. So I just want you to be able to relate to normal people like you and I who are going through their own weight loss struggles. So here we go with Danny. Enjoy. All right, so welcome to Plus Size Stories, episode 5. And today we're talking with Danny, a man from the Bronx who's 49 years old and, like many of us, has been having a weight issue, I guess, all of his life. So Danny, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And before Danny gets started on his story, the one thing I'm going to say is if you don't know Danny from TikTok, you need to, because you've never met a more positive, encouraging person on the whole platform. It's pretty amazing.
Thank you.
Danny, I love your attitude. You keep me going. So I appreciate that. So, Danny, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? How'd you grow up? The Danny story.
The Danny story. I'm from the Bronx, born and raised, still in the Bronx. Two sisters, mom and dad. Dad was a provider. He was a porter, and in a building, and straight Puerto Rican. They straight from the islands. My mom still speaks her broken English, but she's there, and it was we grew up poor, but humble, and nothing was ever missing in the house.
Great. So lots of love, I imagine.
Oh yes.
No surprise given your current attitude at all.
Thanks.
At all. So and so you said two sisters?
Two sisters, one older, one younger. I'm the middle.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah.
No pressure there.
Oh yeah.
So when did you first realize that you had a weight problem?
I've always had a weight problem. I've always been the big kid in school. I've always, I knew I had a problem. I knew I was destined for a lot of headaches, but I always kept with excuses. I was the master of excuses, and it's funny because back in 2005, I had a moment where I was diagnosed with diverticulitis,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to have emergency surgery to fix it and everything. So I was like, I gotta fix myself. And I did probably 6 months of diet and exercise, but then the excuses came back, and it was a downfall after that.
During that 6 months, how much did you end up losing?
I lost roughly 60 pounds,
Okay.
60, 70 pounds. Yeah. But then, like I said, the excuses started packing up again, and it was a cycle again. And I would go for my physicals, and I would dread it because, of course, they would mention the weight, and I'm like, I know, but back in June 2021, I went for my physical, and that's when I was diagnosed as diabetic, and that's when that either fight or die mentality came on. and I was like, I'm fighting, and I've been fighting since. And with that, I actually pushed the diabetes into remission.
Awesome.
So I'm happy, thank God for that. And my health wise, I've don't have a fatty liver no more. The blood pressure wasn't as bad, but it was still a little bit elevated back then.
Hmm.
Now everything is normal, which I'm happy, And it's funny because um, back when I was big, one thing that irked me was when people say, "Oh, if I could do it, you could do it," and it's like eh, you're comparing me to you, and everybody's journey is different.
Right. Right.
So, even now, I don't, I don't say that to anybody. I don't say, "Oh, if I could do it, you could do it." I know the person that's on the other end. They know where they're at. They know what they need to do. It's just they need that push within themselves. And the only thing I tell them is, it's possible. It's hard, but it's possible.
Right. Yeah. Encouragement is so different than if I can do it, you can do
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
And you notice that a lot of us in our little weight loss group on TikTok, we don't say things like that generally, right?
exactly,
It's just like whatever your path is, we will help you, encourage you on your path. But
exactly.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it is really funny how little things like that stick with us, right?
Yes, it is.
I will tell you that for me, one of the big things was friends and family encouragement consisted of, well, I hope it works this time.
Yeah, I
And
got
I
that too.
right, and I know they're trying to be positive,
Yeah,
but they don't realize that sets you up for disappointment.
yeah, exactly.
so, um, okay, so if you don't mind my asking, what was your heaviest?
I know I was heavier than the 425,
Okay,
but I was hesitant on stepping on the scale.
I understand
Um,
completely.
yeah. So I was like, I'll step on the scale when I feel a little bit more comfortable. So I know I must have lost like 5, 10 pounds before I stepped on the scale,
Yep.
but it was 425.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so you're not that far off from where I started, and I did exactly the same thing. I know I was heavier,
Yeah.
did not step on a scale, and my MO usually is I will diet for a week before I step on the scale,
Uh-huh.
just to give myself a running start or whatever that actually meant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
I know the feeling completely. Yes.
so, okay, so in 2021, you decided, okay, enough was enough.
Yes.
What was there? Was it? The diabetes diagnosis? What was it that actually pushed you over the edge?
It was diabetes diagnosed. A couple of months before that, one of my close friends, due to diabetes, had his fingers amputated and
Mm-hmm.
one of his legs amputated.
Oh boy.
And he was one that didn't follow up with his appointments, didn't follow up with any medication that the doctors gave him. He just didn't do any change of lifestyle at all. And my mother's diabetic, and I see her with the insulin every day and everything. So it definitely pushed me to do this change. Um, and like I said, I knew I was destined to that road, but with all the excuses, I just I'll take care of it later.
Yeah.
But later came, and I was like, I can't. No, there's no more later.
No more later. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all too common, and so I'm glad diabetes is in remission. Did you end
Thank
up
you.
on any medication for any of that?
Yes. They started me off on metformin ER.
Okay.
Um, and it's funny because I told the doctor, how long before I bring down my A1C, will I be off this medication? I did not want to be on any medication. Um, and he giggled and said, the earliest, probably 6 months to a year. So I'm like, 6 months? I'll take that 6 months. So he's like, but you need to do a lot for it to be in 6 months. I'll take it. Um, and with my third month follow up, I get a call from him. He's like, get off the metformin. And I'm like, huh? He goes, yeah. I brought down my A1C from 12.4 to a 5.7 in 3 months.
Wow. And so and just because I know that a lot of this is diet related, but
Yes.
how much weight did you lose in that 3 months?
Uh, I lost, and it's funny, it was a huge amount of weight. In that 3 months, it must have been like 45 pounds,
Okay, so
roughly.
that's significant. Like 15
Yeah.
pounds a month. That's I mean that's work.
Yeah.
That's work.
Yeah.
Um,
When I got that diagnosis, I was working from home, of course, because COVID. I'm still working from home, thank God. Um, but that day I came back and I was so overthinking a lot of things. But the next day I woke up and I'm like, no, there's no more thinking. There's no more. I went to the kitchen. I threw out everything, sweets, everything. Went to the supermarket, got veggies, got salmon, got all this other stuff, and just went through with it. And being 425 pounds, doing a cardio was it was a journey. A 5 minute cardio had me huffing and puffing,
yeah.
and but I was like, I was determined. I couldn't.
So so what did you end up doing diet wise? Like what was your plan?
Well, I didn't count calories. I didn't go keto. I did smaller portions. Included a lot of veggies. A lot of good like salmon, chicken breast, turkey. From red meat, I just flipped over there. No fried stuff. If I do fry, it's in the air fryer, and that's one of the best things I've ever purchased.
Isn't it? It's so
It's
good.
yes. And it's funny because people are like, oh, who's telling you what to do, how you're doing? You search so much on the internet now, everything's there.
Yeah.
Even like when I go to the gym, they're like, oh, do you have a trainer? I was like, no, I just YouTube the machine. I look at it. I'm like, okay, fine. That's how you do it. Okay. And people are shocked. But yeah, diet wise, I just included a lot of veggies. And people that know me knew that veggies on my plate was a no-no. I was like, no, no, no. But now it's like, yeah, give me more veggies.
So
So,
yeah, so that's great. I mean, because yeah, I mean, a lot of times we know what we're supposed to do,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
For me, I count calories, and that's because for me, though, just the way my brain works, I want to see the data. I want to see all the numbers and everything, and I want to make
yeah,
sure that okay, I'm planning to do this, and I've accomplished this. Like I can do it
correct.
hard and fast.
Yeah.
But clearly, switching to lean proteins and vegetables that helps a lot, right?
Yes, it does.
Regardless. So
Yeah.
and that's the kind of thing that you're doing today.
Yes.
All right. So that's fantastic. And so all right, so the magic question is how much have you lost so far?
I've lost 215 pounds. It was a little bit more, but I went up 5 pounds. Um, and it's so funny because I was so depressed when I went to the doctor, and I'm like, I went up 5 pounds, but I'm doing this, and they're like, but you look slimmer than you did 4 months ago, and I'm like, but I'm up, And when they did the liver test on me, of course I had to take off my shirt, and they're like, "That's where your 5 pounds are," and I'm like, "Huh?" They're like, "You see the muscle definition, but with me, I also see the extra skin and all
Yep.
this other factors to it, which I'm like, I don't see it, But
Yeah. It's really hard to get past that extra skin and
yeah,
our view of ourselves, right? I mean, we're just
correct.
like I still see the ultra fat guy in the mirror and
Yes,
but I know I'm wearing smaller clothes, right?
yes,
I know that logically it works,
yes,
but all I see is the loose skin and what's left to do.
yeah.
So yeah. So speaking of, so you did that all naturally?
Yes.
That's fantastic. That is a lot. It's a lot. 200 plus pounds naturally. in a couple of years, right? I
In
mean,
2 years, a
yeah,
little bit over 2 years.
yeah, that's fantastic.
Mhm.
So what are your goals?
My goal, and it's like that goal it's there, but I keep on going and then keep on coming back. But for now, my goal is to get to 200.
Okay.
Um, and but once I get there, it's this is an endless journey. This journey is nonstop. A lot of people, their mentality is, once I get there, I'm good. No, you got to keep on pushing. You got to maintain. So I'm still, like right now, I'm at the stage where I'm trying to build more muscle, which it is showing, but that 200 is still in the back of my mind, and I'm like, should I stop building the muscle or should I, but I'm like, I gotta keep on doing what I'm doing. So
Yeah.
I'm still gonna keep on with the muscles, even though that 200 is there haunting me, but I'm gonna just keep on.
Yeah, it's funny because and how tall are you?
I'm 5'6". I shrunk. When I started, I was 5'8", and then when they measured me last year, they're like, "Oh, you're 5'6". I'm like, "Huh? No, 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 you're wrong."
So that just means you had fat feet.
Yeah, I did. I really did.
Well, what's funny is when I first started going back to the doctor, acting like an adult,
Uh-huh.
because I put it off forever, um, and they said you're 5'8", and I went, what? No, I said I've been 5'6", maybe 5'7" on a good day. They go,
Uh-huh.
no, you're 5'8". Like I grew, and I don't even know when that happened. I like, and this
That's
was,
cool.
yeah, but it was like before I started losing the weight. Now
Okay.
it could be the fat on my feet. I don't, I don't know. So I'll be going back to the doctor in March for
Okay.
my annual, and I'll have lost probably 125 pounds by then compared to the
That's
last time the
awesome,
doctor
man.
saw me. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I don't know how tall I am.
Okay.
The number I have in the back of my head, 185.
Okay.
Now in a previous weight loss, I got down to 171,
Nice.
and that felt almost too small to me. If
Okay.
it, and it probably wasn't, but in my head, it felt like, I don't know. But I was wearing like a medium shirt and like
Okay.
size 32, 34 pants. I mean, it was
Okay.
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
but
Oh yeah.
I started saying, well, I'm going to do 185.
Okay.
But then I started doing strength training this year. Well, and
Okay.
just a month or so ago, and so I went. So the 185 is still up for debate. Like I'm not
Yeah.
sure because I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But you're right about this is an endless journey, right? I mean, because I think that's one of the things that we always, well, I don't know about you, I've gone through this where, okay, all I need to do is get to this weight and then I'm good, and
Yeah.
then you go, I can eat whatever I want
Yeah.
now,
Yeah. I was the
and
same way.
and I've changed that obviously, because it becomes, I can keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we,
Or the oh, it's only one time. I could eat this cake right now
yep,
and go to the gym and do a little extra.
yep.
But yeah.
So we just have to we have to. I think one of the things that as we get better at the weight loss thing, just as humans, I'm not even talking about just you and me, but
Hmm.
we just have to learn better how to maintain.
Yes.
Like we never talk about maintaining, right?
Yeah.
It's always about how do we lose?
Yes.
Cool, but now what, right?
Yeah.
So that's fantastic. I so it. How long have you been going to the gym?
I've been going to the gym for a year and a half.
Okay, and so you lost a significant amount of weight before you went to the gym.
Yes.
Yeah.
YouTube videos. Because it was in 2001, so the gym still had a lot of restrictions with COVID and everything.
Right.
So I held off. Plus, I was ashamed to even go to the gym at my weight. So
Understand completely.
yeah, so I was hesitant. I didn't want, even though people at the gym, they have just the straight vision. They're going there to just work out, and they're not. I know we as human think, oh yeah, they're looking at me, or no, that's people are just focusing on themselves. but I just couldn't go to the gym at my size. And I started doing YouTube videos. I started doing the walking at home with Leslie, and then the Team Body Project, which those are awesome
You turned me
videos.
on to that too. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
And till today, I still do the Team Body Project. I wake up in the morning, I do a half an hour cardio to start off my day, and I just turn on the TV, go to, Team Body Project, or even now I'm going to Juice and Toya. They
Okay.
have some good videos, and I start off my day with half an hour and just keep on with my day. And then in the evening, I go to the gym.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So okay, so you're trying to build some muscles. Do you have any goals from a fitness standpoint end of things
Muscle wise, I just want to build. I want to see if I could tighten up as much skin as possible.
by filling it with muscle?
And I know it's not gonna go away completely. But just as much as possible that I could feel a little bit better of myself. Even though a lot of people have told me you look great, but my eyes are telling me no, you got to keep on, So it's funny. And one of my friends had even told me that like your mind and your eyes are your worst enemies because your mind is still telling you you're that person you was, how many years ago, and your eyes is just focusing on the defects instead of what the accomplishments you've done. And not till recently, when I took the trip to Puerto Rico, one of my friends goes, "You got to wear tank tops when you're over there. You know, you don't know anybody over there, so just wear your tank tops. Go about your day." So I wore the tank tops and I took a lot of pictures, and I'm looking at the pictures and I'm like, "Wait, that's me." And I was like, I don't see that when I'm looking at myself in the mirror, but when I was seeing those pictures of me in vacation, and I'm seeing, and I'm like, I did that. So I felt so accomplished. And for that moment, I was like, okay, I'm doing good. I'm happy. So like I say in a lot of my videos, I'm like, try to see, like in the beginning when we first started this journey, it was like just the pants being a little bit looser. Yes, just rejoice. Um, I start saying, I was like, I need to go back to that mentality because right now I'm just so focused on the scale that I'm losing track of all the accomplishments I'm doing. And that's why I try to remind people. I'm like, look, it's not only the scale, and I'm talking to myself when I say that, look at the clothes that you're wearing. And then one thing that I've noticed, and I keep on saying it too, is people on the journey, once, if you notice when they began and you notice their pictures now, they're smiling. So
Yes.
it's like it's a genuine smile. And I'm like, I love the picture, but I love the smile behind it because that's a real smile. And we need to focus on that too. We're getting our lives back.
Right, right. Yeah, I've noticed that too, and because
Mm.
I go back and review my day one versus now, and it's night and day. I was not happy
Yeah.
at the beginning,
Uh,
and I imagine you might have been the same.
yeah. I was just saying. I was hiding myself behind my smile.
Yeah.
I had perfected my smile where nobody could tell whether it was real or fake. But I was full of insecurities. I was full of doubt. I was scared about life. The one thing that is strange is I was actually more confident back when I was big than I am now.
Really
Yeah, but
interesting.
uh, it, one of my friends had even told me, they're like, look, you've been big all your life, so being big is all you knew. So you was confident back then. Now, like with this, I'm like, how do I look? Am I okay? Should I say something? Or so I'm still in a little cocoon right now, but it's so funny that, and people are like, oh, now you must be more outgoing. I was like, not really. Now I'm more closed up, which I don't understand. But then by them telling me that, they're like, all you knew was being fat. that now it's like something new and you're trying to adjust to it. And it's true. I still need to adjust.
Yeah, I think there's something to that, right? I think there's back before we lost weight, we were comfortable with who we were,
Hmm.
or else we wouldn't have been that weight, right? There was a
Exactly.
level of comfort there, and so I wonder if I don't know about you because I just thinking about it based on what you were just saying. I I'm always on guard right now. I'm always like going, I can't mess up or I won't what happens if I fall back? What happens if this happens? So we're always like just on guard against
Yes.
the bad stuff versus going and look, I try to take credit for my accomplishments as well, and I know you do as well, but there's that
Hmm.
thing behind us going, don't let up. Don't let
Yes.
up.
Yes.
Right? And so we can't be fully confident in there.
Exactly.
We can be proud, no question, because we
Hmm.
have accomplished a whole lot of stuff. But
Yeah.
you got to be careful,
Yes.
right? Which is weird because from the outside view, it feels like Danny, you've lost over 200 pounds. You should be the most confident you've ever been.
Yes. And those are the exact same words that people are telling me, and I'm like, no, I'm not. But we'll
Right?
move forward.
Right. Well, and that's like I've lost about 135 pounds now,
Hmm.
and people go, man, you've lost 135 pounds, and inside is always the voice going, but I have another 50 to go, but I have another 50 to go,
Yeah.
and so I'm not done. Like I can't get comfortable. I'm not done.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
and you've
another
got
thing
that.
with that too
Yeah.
is like when people are like, "Oh, you're doing," and I'm like, my thing is I always say I'm trying, and people are like, "No, you're doing." I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm trying because by me saying I'm doing, that means I already finished, and this is a never endless journey. Which that's why I keep on saying I'm trying because like we're all human, so we're always gonna slip up.
Right.
So by me saying I accomplished or I'm doing, it defeats the purpose on my mind. So I'm like, my thing is I'm trying,
Yeah.
and it's true because like I said, this is something that's gonna be never endless.
Right. Right. And yeah, we're set up for a lifetime of well, we got work to do.
Yes.
Let's do it. Let's just do it. Yeah. So that's great. It hadn't occurred to me at that point. Because yeah, it was. I don't know about you. I was always the fat funny guy.
Yes.
Self defense.
Yeah.
So
You beat them to the punchline.
yeah,
That's how I've
exactly.
always thought.
Oh yeah, always,
Yeah.
always. Yep. Okay, so that's you've accomplished and are still working on a whole bunch of stuff.
Yes.
What brought you to TikTok, which is
Actually,
where I found you?
COVID. A lot of people were saying TikTok is a nice release and everything, and it was before my journey, and I started seeing all these videos, and I'm like, okay, that's fun. And since we were on lockdown, that's all that really had as entertainment, and I switched it from being the clown that I was to the weight loss journey on TikTok, and that's how it's been. Like I still do my clown arounds and in there and stuff, but um I know a lot of people are looking at the weight loss journey more than that. Um, and till recently, I posted the other day the my liver episode and my distress, and I got a couple of emails, well, messages saying, "Oh no, you can't be down. You need to keep on. You're always doing." But then I was gonna bring down that video because I was like, I don't want to let anybody down or anything like that. But I'm like, but if I do that, then I'm not gonna be showing people that there's ups and downs in this journey. And I actually spoke to Dina, the hoop,
Yep. Yep.
and she even told me, she's like, don't bring it down because people need to see this side as well. And she told me, but it's up to you whether or not to bring it down or not. But her suggestion was leave it. And I was like, I wanted to leave it regardless, but I felt bad that I was getting those messages. No, you're my inspiration. But then fine, if I'm being your inspiration, you need to know that there's still good with bad.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So I left it, and that's why I did a follow-up video saying, I'm not Superman. This is a hard journey, and you know, you're gonna have rough patches. So I'm glad I did that video.
I am too, and I'm glad that you left it up because, look, here's the other part is like you don't know who is looking at that and going, oh, well, Danny has downtimes too, but he's still moving forward.
Correct.
And whether you accept it or realize it or not, you are inspiring people,
Yeah.
and probably a lot more people who aren't making comments and who
Yes.
aren't, and because you know when I don't know what your average view count is on your videos, but you don't get that many comments,
No.
right?
Average view is probably 300, 400.
Yeah, which is right around the
Um,
same as mine, right? And
yeah.
so and we don't get 300 or 400 comments a day.
No. I don't even get 300 or 400 likes. But
Right.
it's funny because people are like, "Oh, you got all these views but no likes," and I'm like, I really don't care about the likes. I'm posting it's just to inspire people. The way I see it is God is helping me with this journey, and if my blessing could bless somebody else, then that's what it's there for. Likes, what am I gonna get for a like? Nothing. So when people tell me, "Oh, you're not getting likes," I was like, I don't care.
Right.
You know,
Right. So let me ask you, why did you start posting on TikTok? What was the reason for your first weight loss video?
my reason wasn't for to show other people. It was so that way I could have a view of what my progress was.
Okay.
Um, I wanted to see, okay, I started here, I started there, but then once I started doing that, I felt insecure and didn't want others to see those videos, or so I stopped posting. And that's one of my biggest regrets because I'm like, I should have kept on posting. I should have kept on showing, all the stress, all the progress, all it was just and even when people reach out to me, I tell them, look, even if you just put it private for yourself, just record it because you're gonna look back and you're gonna be like, wait, I was doing this, but then now wow, you get that wow moment, and I'm like, I could go back, but I could go back to just pictures, not the videos, and I'm like, oh, I wished I should have done it.
Yeah. Did you end up taking progress pictures from the day that you started?
No.
Yeah, neither did I, and I wish I had now.
Yeah.
In hindsight, but
Yeah.
I really didn't start taking pictures until maybe 3 or 4 months ago.
Oh, okay.
And I try to do one every day. But yeah, it's just so I have to rely on those first videos to
Yeah.
just look at those, and yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
And with me, the and it wasn't even when I first started the journey. It was a couple of months after. The rope video of me with the ropes.
Yep.
And that's why I keep on going back to that when I'm like, that just me seeing, and that video itself, in my mind, when I was actually moving the ropes, I thought they were going full force and everything. And I'm looking at the video, I'm like, huh? I was like, wait, I thought they were going faster.
Right.
But
So when did you realize the TikTok thing for you was bigger than you just trying to be accountable to yourself?
uh probably a year into it, I started getting messages where people are like, um, of course, oh, what did you do? And I would go into detail of what I've done. And they're like, oh, but you're not taking any fat burning pills or any shakes, or I'm like, huh? No. They're like, oh, okay, thank you. But then I'll get those, oh, I was down and I'm looking at your videos and you're doing it. So you're giving me hope. I could do it too. And I'm like, yes, you could, just keep on moving. And once I started getting those videos saying, oh, I gotta try. And I'm like, no, you don't gotta try. You gotta do it. You gotta keep on. So it was just something that I'm like, okay, my blessing is going to others and it's actually helping. So I gotta keep on posting.
Right.
And I got a couple of those. Oh, you're posting for likes, or you're posting for recognition, and so I held back, and then I started getting those messages. Oh, are you okay? I don't see you posting, and I'm like, I just don't want people to think that I'm doing it for recognition or anything. And they're like, no, you're helping out others, so please start posting again. And I started posting here and there, but then I was like, wait, why am I thinking about what this one's saying? One person compared to all the help that I'm going to be doing for others. It's like, forget this. Let me just keep on doing what I'm doing. If they don't like it, they could just delete me. And I just started posting again.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm happy you did. I'm happy you
thank
did,
you.
because literally you are one of the guys I look to for inspiration.
Thank you.
You,
Thank you so much.
you really are. And then we found ourselves in this like little group of people with like Jordan and AJ
AJ,
and
and yeah.
Panda and those guys. How did that happen for you?
Um, Jordan, Jordan was the first one to reach out to me. And he goes, "Oh, there's a group of us that we've exchanged numbers, and I don't know how you feel about exchanging your number." And I'm like, "Look, I'm all for it. We're already brothers on this journey. Why not, have that extra contact?" So it started with Jordan, then AJ and Panda and Dave, and it just kept on growing from there. And I love it because others may not see like if we're down or we're out, but our little family, because it turned into a family,
Yep.
we do see it and we're like, hey, we haven't seen this. Are you okay? And they're like, oh, it's not a good week. It's okay, so you got us, and the support there is so great, which I'm happy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's turned into this wonderful thing that I've certainly never expected
Yeah,
when we got started. Right? It's just
yeah, me too. Yeah.
it's so good. All right, so I'm going to ask you this. I know I asked you pre-show, but I want to do it in as part of the podcast. You're down about 215 ish
Hmm.
right now.
Yeah.
Do you mind if we reach out to you next season? We're going to do like a "Where Are They Now" type of thing,
I
just to
don't
catch
mind at
up
all.
on you. Okay,
I don't mind at
yeah,
all.
I figured that would be the case. And then the other thing I wanted to ask you is if you had a piece of advice for somebody just starting today, what would your advice be for them?
Just one? Could I add two?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
you can do two. You can do two.
Okay. One is to be consistent. Um, there's days where motivation isn't even a factor in the issue. You're gonna wake up and you're gonna be like, oh, I don't want to do it, or I just I'm not feeling it. You have to be consistent. You got to show up. It's a job. It's the journey. So you got to keep on pushing. And the second one, this one is the most important one because I'm learning it myself, is don't be hard on yourself. This is this it's life. This is you. Don't be as hard on yourself as as others. Your mind is saying, "Oh, this person's hard on me," but in reality, it's not. It's just your mind. Um, and just be more kind to yourself.
Yeah, yeah, that happens. It's funny because we see that all the time, right? Where people go,
Yeah,
"Oh, I went off last night. Like I overate and
yeah,
whatnot." And I know you've had these conversations. I have too, where we
yeah,
go, "Okay, so now what?"
yeah,
And they go,
exactly.
"Well, um, I I I ruined my night." And I said, "Okay, let's just take a step back. What did you eat last night?" And they
Hmm.
go, "Oh, well, I went out and I had a half of a large pizza and a couple of beers and some wings." I went, "Okay, so what? Like maybe 1,500 to 2,000 calories over what you had planned on doing?"
Uh-huh.
And they go, "Yep." And I went, "Yeah, that's not even a pound.
Yeah,
So it's okay. Let it go. Are you on
yeah.
plan this morning?" "Yes."
Exactly.
Say, say I forgive you and move on.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's a progress, not perfection. So
Right.
we're gonna have slip ups. So but we just can't stay focused on that slip up. We got to keep on moving, like you said. Just move on.
Right. Well, and it's like it's because I think I look, if this didn't happen to you, I am completely off base on this, but it used to be if I slipped up on a Thursday, that would ruin me not only for the rest of the week but for the weekend as well, and then
Yeah.
start back up on Monday because
Yeah.
Monday is when we start.
Yes. Yes. That
And
happened to me plenty of times before.
right.
Yes.
And now it's like no, tomorrow we're fine.
Yes.
Or if I have another workout to do even after the slip up, I guess I'm doing the workout. Like
Yes.
that's just what you do.
Yes.
And you are
Yeah.
spot on. Motivation is not always there,
Yeah.
but do the work. Just
Yes.
do the work.
Yeah.
And so when I'm talking to people about, well, and they say, I'm going to start on Monday, or I'm going to, I'm just starting my weight loss journey. I'm going to start on Monday. And I'm going, why?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know about you. This time was different for me because I didn't start on a Monday. I started on a Wednesday. And it was just because I had enough.
Thursday.
Thursday. Yeah. And it's because it was time, right? It was
Yeah.
just time.
Yeah.
And the downside to starting now, I still haven't found it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's another thing too. A lot of people are like, "Oh, I see you. That's my New Year's resolution. It's coming right around the corner." I'm like, "Why wait? You have 3 whole months now that you could have progress by the New Year's." And they're
Right.
looking at me, they're like, "Oh no, but I'll start New Year's." I'm like, "Okay, I'll reach out to you in New Year's just to make sure."
But how cool would it be to have a New Year's resolution that says, keep doing what you're doing?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, and you could accomplish that New Year's resolution.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Right. So, all right, cool. That was awesome, Danny. Thank you so much for joining me on today. I
Thank you for
really
having me. I
people are
really
gonna
appreciate
love
it.
hearing your story.
Thanks.
So let people know where they can find you on the internets.
Both TikTok and Instagram. Focus Danny. Well, Focus_Danny198, and on Facebook, I'm Danny Vega.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, and we will see you guys next week with another guest.
Awesome.
And stop recording.